So, in your recent lesson, you will have been looking at viruses and how viruses go about causing disease within living organisms. So, first thing to remember about a virus is they are technically not classed as cells. And this is partly due to their size, in that they're the smallest microorganism, being about 1,000th of the size of the smallest bacteria. Now, in terms of their job really and what they do to cells when they cause an infection is that, in the simplest form, what they do is they insert themselves into cells and they replicate themselves many times over. And as they replicate themselves, they simply do it again and again and again until basically the cell that they are in bursts and is damaged beyond repair, really. Quite simple in their process, but quite effective. Now, they primarily consist of genetic material in a protein coat that you might sometimes see called as a capsid, and that genetic material is either full strands of DNA or it can also be smaller strands of RNA. Okay. Now, obviously we've said they live inside of cells and replicate and then basically burst out of the cell. This process makes them quite difficult to fight against. So, bear in mind, one of the main treatments of illnesses is through the use of antibiotics. And the key thing to remember about antibiotics and viruses is that they do not affect them. And this is because antibiotics work on the outside of the cell, whereas if the viruses have inserted themselves into the cell, they basically can't be reached. Now, there are some common examples you might be expected to know a little bit about. One of those is measles, which is spread through air in droplets from sneezes and coughs, and basically symptom-wise is a high fever and a rash. Another one is HIV, which is human immunodeficiency virus. It spreads through sexual contact or exchange of bodily fluids, for example, blood. And it causes flu-like symptoms to start with, not that very many symptoms, but what it does is it decreases immunity within the human body, so that eventually the sufferer develops AIDS, which means their immune system is so underfunded and doesn't work that they are susceptible. Even the smallest infections and illnesses can have devastating consequences and basically can be potentially fatal. The final one is TMV, or otherwise known as tobacco mosaic virus. Now, TMV is in plants, and what it does is it basically causes sort of mosaic patterns on the plant leaves, because those parts of the plant leaves become damaged and they can no longer photosynthesize. So it means that actually the plant isn't doing enough photosynthesis to generate glucose and oxygen that it needs for respiration to be able to survive. So, in a nutshell, that is viruses.